No one gave a fuck about what I said. Nobody cared. And I was like, why don't people care about what I said? You want to know why no one listened to me? Because I was broke. So I was like, okay, how do I get people to just shut up and listen? I gotta go make money. Stop looking at all the other shit that people are doing. Like, focus on the things that you like and enjoy and go all in on that, and everything else will take care of itself. People are not gonna remember you for being the jack of all trades. They remember you for being the jack of one trade.
So Jason, what makes an irresistible offer?
It makes it...
All right, guys, welcome to the Millionaire Mentorship Podcast. We've got a very special guest, Jason Wojo, a self-made multimillionaire with a net worth of $4 billion at the age of 26. And he's the mastermind behind scaling 13 to 20 businesses to 6 figures and 50 plus businesses to 7 to 8 figures. And he does that all through paid advertising. I'm super pumped to have you on the show because I'm going to ask you a bunch of selfish questions for my business because I saw Ryan Pineda, a good friend of mine, do the exact same thing. It was one of my favorite podcasts that I heard. So I'm super excited to have you on the show.
Yeah, bro. Appreciate it, man. Yeah, I'm excited.
Yeah. So tell us about who is Jason Wojo? I know your last name is Polish, so you cut it off a little bit, but
I am a marketer, innovator, and offer creation. Probably I could call myself an offer creation savage. That's one of my favorite things to do is just create good offers. I originally grew up in New York for about 19 years. And then I decided to go to culinary school, dropped out, got out of culinary school, went to business school. I was flipping Pokemon cards. I was working 3 jobs, playing Division III tennis. And then while that was happening, I bought Tai Lopez's course for SMMA, dove into that, crushed it with that. And then I was making money on the side while I had 3 jobs. I was working with barbershops and restaurants and whatnot. And then once that, really started growing, I was making about maybe $3,000 a month, nothing crazy. And then I decided to move to Orlando because when I was a kid, one of the vacations that we went on was a cruise. And I remember getting off at Fort Lauderdale and I saw palm trees for the first time in my entire life. And I was like, bro, palm trees are so cool. I want to live near them when I'm older.
yeah.
That's when I wind up moving. And then from there, I just really took off from there. I only had my business to run, so that was my only option. But yeah, dude, just to branch off the question, I run paid traffic. If not the best person in the space, because I just have the biggest clientele. I have the best clients. Some of the biggest names that you all know and follow, I all run their ads. And it's due to the fact that I know how to write really good offers. I know how to write good copy. There's some people that talk so much about paid traffic as this thing that's one-click publish, but it's not. There's a lot of different components that come into it, which is, like I said, your offer, and then your conversion rates, your copy, your messaging, your infatuations, your storytelling, and then there's actually your creatives, which is branching curiosity, and more infatuations, good pattern interrupts, social proof, what I call intrinsic selling, and then there's your KPIs. So what does your sales team look like? What's your show rates? What's your close rates? What's your price point? What's your lifetime value? What's your AOV? What are all these things that are happening in the back end that dictate if your ads are actually...
What's AOV? I have no idea what that term even means.
That's average order value. So it's mostly for e-com stores. They would know what AOV is, but I've broken paid traffic down to a very small science. And that's how I really started blowing up of recent, is just because of the clients that I have and the networks that I've been able to dip into, and it's been exciting. And it all started with Ryan. As soon as I got off that podcast with Ryan, man, everything kind of just took off. And it was really sick, dude. And
yeah, he's a good dude. He actually got me in the social space. I'd actually been selling him properties. You know what I mean? I was giving him the stuff I wouldn't buy, and then I started to see him kind of put some of the social out there. And he was just an open book with me, and I really appreciated that. Just showed me everything that he had going on and showed me why he was doing that. I was like, why are you doing it? I didn't get the whole education aspect of things at that point in time. I'm like, why are you putting everything out there? I'm very private. And so, yeah, he's a good dude, man. I'm glad that so tell us about this. So you went on that podcast that got your limelight on stuff. He's got a really great podcast.
Yeah.
And
that was the crazy part that I had to learn, was that I was dude, we've done very well. We do 8 figures a year, and I did that for 3 to 4 years, and no one really knew who I was. And for that time horizon, I was why should I go on podcasts? Why should I want a bigger network? I already make money. What's the point? right? I was so naive and egotistical about it because I just was this guy who was on the internet just talking about ads and driving around in a McLaren, and I was just egotistical about everything. And then I
I did
realized,
notice the car. I did notice the cars on your.
yeah, dude, that's one of my biggest vices, dude. I love those. Oh my God, it's so bad. So like,
Do it while you're young, bro. Like have fun.
I know, but dude, it just attracts the wrong women. That's why my dating life is shit. But all right, we'll get into that later.
Yeah, we can talk about that, bro.
But basically, man, like when I went on the pod, he's like, dude, like there's so many people that I know that would want this. And at the time, it was all low ticket like funnels. I was doing digital products, and I was like, dude, man, like I'll help you run yours. Like I'll set up a whole digital product funnel. He's like, dude, what the hell is this? Like I'm like, dude, it's a self liquidating funnel. You run it, spend. People spend money on the front end, then they come on the back end, and then they buy high ticket or they come to an event. I don't know if I'm allowed to announce this, but I'm speaking at WealthCon in July.
Announce it. Yeah, it's all good.
It's good. It's just gonna be really dope, dude. And I didn't know about none of this shit. Like I was just the guy that pushed buttons in an ads manager and just ran ads. And from there, dude, like I started by building low ticket funnel for Ryan. I wrote all the copy, got all of it done. You've probably seen the ads all over. It's got a 3-row ads on the front end, like it's fucking killing it. And he's like, bro, you are a fucking genie. And then I wind up going on Chris Crohn's podcast. And then on that podcast afterwards, he's like, bro, you might be one of the smartest people I've ever met, and no one knows who the fuck you are. And I was like, all right, like, I mean, I had a decent following. I thought that was a lot of people. And he's like, dude, like no one in my space knows who you are. Like you need to become a part of this. So then I was like, all right, sick. I'll run your ads for your events. I'll help with your low ticket funnels. Now his book funnels crushing the events. I can't go into much details, but like we're selling out these fucking events and I got equity in it. So I'm freaking pumped about that. And then after that happened, then I got introduced to like Bradley, somebody else I can't mention. Then I got Dan Bilzerian, and I got, dude, I just have all these insane clients that want low ticket funnels and stuff. And I was like,
you might have another one.
dude, the whole low ticket funnel space is the most insane shit when done correctly. And like, so I don't like to make bold statements on podcasts because like, you know, it's an FTC thing, but like, bro, I'm telling you right now, if you're an entrepreneur and you have any kind of following and you're actually good at what you do and you don't have a low ticket funnel, you basically are just like, you hate money. Like you just hate money. And it's the most self-liquidating shit ever. And dude, it's free leads and you get all the perks of the ad spend. You're getting all the points. You're getting all the followers, all the engagement, all the attention, all the reach. And it's like, if I got 100 book calls that are buying high ticket, right? Let's say 50% of them show. 25% of them have no fucking money. And then the other 25%, let's break that into 3. 2/3 of them might want a payment plan or just will make an excuse why they have to wait till it's Friday. And then the other 1/3 will buy maybe, right?
Yeah.
So if I get 100 low ticket buyers, 20% of them are going to book a call. So now I have 20 book calls. My ad spend's free. So my book calls are free. My show rates are higher because they bought something. I have their credit card. And then 1/3 of those people will actually close. It's the deadliest thing I've ever seen in my entire life. And like I keep it on the low because some people like are like, oh shit, I'll just do it myself. And I'm like, damn, I don't want you to go do that because I want to do it. But it's like it's this thing where you have to have the right messaging. Like it's gotta have the right mechanism. You can't just go and look at somebody else and be like, oh, I'm gonna run a low ticket like him. It's gotta be your own unique like mechanism. And people miss that mark so much.
Yeah, digital marketing is very complicated. So let me tell you. Like I come from the real estate space. A lot of the guys you talk to come from the real estate space. And then all of a sudden we decided we're going to become digital marketers, right? So like there's a complete like total shift. So where things started to make sense to me, because I dug in with the funnels, the Russell Brunson and everything like that. And then I went to this guy's event, Onyx Signal, at the Learn Center. And he hosted a free mastermind event that a guy named C.G. McMahon invited me to. And I went to that last January and everything. I felt like people think at my real estate events, I'm like, I'm the fucking stupidest guy in this room. Like, I don't know. All these guys are talking about digital marketing, about self-liquidating offers. I knew nothing about that at that point in time, even after reading the books and stuff. And so when I got in that room with people like you, there was a bunch of people like you, and I was like, these guys are like geniuses. You guys are the digital marketers. And so talk to us about people who are selling stuff, what a self-liquidating offer is, and the whole psychology between pressing the buttons and getting them to buy in, and why it's so important in the sales page and all of that.
Yeah, perfect. So, okay. Self-liquidating, all I'm basically saying is that instead of running ads to an application page with a book call funnel where you don't make the money back day one, you have to wait till you have sales calls, is that you want people to buy something on the front end. Like, you make them financially committed. So self-liquidating is like, if I spend $1,000 a day, I want to be able to make at least $750 back out of it and book out my calendar. Usually people spend $1,000 a day and they just have a bunch of book calls and they don't make shit day one. No one's buying anything. So it's not self-liquidating. You're just spending money. So with the self-liquidation, it allows you to then be able to scale your spend further. So that's the first thing. The second thing is why do I do it? Like, what's the psychology behind it? If you're any entrepreneur who sells high ticket in the back end, maybe even mastermind or events, you want to give the audience a quick win. So like, if I'm a sales coach, let's just throw an example. If I'm a sales coach and I'm like, hey, I want to sell more people high ticket sales coaching. What's a good low ticket offer? My sales script for $9. Take my sales script, it's fill in the blank, and go use it. Okay, cool. You grab this thing, you fill it out. It's probably going to be better than what the bullshit you got right now is. You fill it out, you use it. Maybe you get a quick win. You close a deal. Who are they going to buy a high ticket from now? Your ass. They're not going to go anywhere else because you already made them commit to something. The whole low ticket play is you're giving the audience a quick win. Like this small thing that's $7, $9, $17, $27, and you're just saying, hey, listen, this thing will work if you use it. It's like, I have an offer, another one that I run where I'm like, hey, here's 60 viral video script hooks. And for the next 60 days, if you post one video a day, you should be able to get 1 million views in 60 days. You should be able to if you have a brain cell. So you use these 60 scripts, you take them, and you just post one video a day. And like that crushes because I'm giving them my best 60 hooks. Like, if you use them, you'll get results. If you're lazy, then, good luck. But, like, it's a quick win. Then on the back end, we sell it. Hey, we'll just do this shit for you. Just record and we'll edit them for you. Like, it's easy. So it's like.
So let's go to a couple hooks right now. Just like, what's a couple hooks that you would use, like that like are your go-to hooks?
First one that always works really well is, let's say you teach people how to wholesale.
Right.
Or you teach people how to fix and flip. A good hook is, stop buying homes. And you're like, what the f? Like, that's what you teach. Like, it's always saying stop, and then the thing that you want them to actually, like, do, but you say stop. So for me, it's like, stop running ads. And you're like, wait, don't you sell that? So that, like, whole stop hook is good. Number two is, like, you say the thing that people are used to using. So let's say you use Zillow to find deals. Okay? Zillow is stealing money from you, and here's why. Like, you want to find out how they're stealing money from you. Right? Let's say Starbucks versus Dunkin'. That's a good hook. Like Starbucks versus Dunkin', or like, here's why here's this little known ingredient in Starbucks that is upsetting your stomach, and little do you realize it. Because, dude, the thing that I see with Starbucks is that makes me like, my stomach kills you when I drink Starbucks. I don't know about you, but like, whenever I have Starbucks, dude, my stomach goes crazy. Dunkin' Donuts doesn't happen.
Starbucks, I had a 5.3 million view video that started with 5 reasons why you'll always be broke, and the number one was because you go to Starbucks every day.
Yeah.
And that's 5.3 million views.
Yeah, it's like, and then these other things like dude, for example, like if you vote for Biden, we're gonna have a World War III. That's a good hook. Which is actually true. I'm not gonna get into that, but like, yeah.
We can get into it, but we gotta be careful.
But like, yeah, like what else could you say? Like, it's got to be something that is curiosity driven and drives a certain emotion. So like, if you're below 25, like, don't have kids, or like saying something like that's gonna get women like, or if you say something really bold, like if you're pregnant, you shouldn't get maternity leave. That will piss off a whole like scope of people, dude.
So you're using politics. You're chopping the audience in half and dividing them.
Yeah.
Right? So Jason is going to be running for governor of Florida someday. Like you understand, once you understand the human psychology of things, it's really crazy. And social media, what I have found, teaches you human psychology.
Yeah. Like there was a video that I made. I don't know if you saw it, but it was about the gym. And I was like, if you go to the gym, you're poor. Like, that pissed off the entire internet. Dude, that video got 800 million views, and my TikTok account got banned. That video went so viral a whole year ago that my account got deleted. That's how bad it was. Yeah, it went viral on Reddit, and then it went viral everywhere else. And then, dude, that shit was nuts. And I was basically saying, like, also I made it a joke on people who drive Toyota Corollas. I was like, if you drive a Toyota Corolla, I can easily take your girlfriend. Easily. And dude, that pissed off so many people, dude. It was so bad. But dude, like that's why I go back to the first piece. The reason why I say stuff like that is because I know it's gonna work. And number two is, dude, I'm a nerd. Like I know how to write good offers and write good copy. I know how to piss people off. But if people know me really, really well, they know that I'm not actually rude. I do it because it's marketing. It's like, dude, it's just like attention. You're day trading attention. The more attention you get, the more money you make, regardless of how you look at it. It's just the way the world works. And people hate on videos where I say controversial stuff, dude.
Yeah.
But then people will go vote for a president that still has two sides. Like, you're literally a hypocrite by calling me stupid for making a video when you're the one who goes out and votes every 4 years for a president, and there's always two sides anyway. And you hate the other side. Like,
Yeah.
it's crazy, bro. It's just human nature at its finest.
So break me down. Number one, how did you start to understand human psychology? Because you're a young guy. Obviously, you're studying on your own. But how did you start to get into that? And then my follow-up question after that is, how do you lay out your funnel? Because I know that I just looked at your landing page real quick. I clicked on Instagram. I was like, oh, cool. So he's got proof in there, but there's a lot of buy now, buy now. I like the way you've set everything up. And it brings me back to like that you're kind of a study of Russell Brunson is what I'm guessing.
Yeah. So, biggest thing is human psychology, dude. I learned that through a couple of things, which is really going to be interesting here. Is number one thing I learned, how I learned human psychology was realizing that women say one thing and always mean another. So like that was one thing that I took with me, like when my mom was mad at home when I was a kid, or like my mom felt like we weren't doing things that she wanted to do or whatever. She would always be like, oh, it's all right. Like, go do what you guys want to do. But low key, she was saying, don't do that shit and listen to me. Right? Like women always say one thing and mean another. So that's where I learned a lot of human psychology from. Second thing, dude, was people lying to me. And this came in business. This came in people's words. This came through actions, right? And here's the thing I always learned from one of my first mentors, Greg Berry, was people don't vote with their actions or their mouths. They vote with their credit cards. And I've always taken that to heart. And like the amount of times that people would tell me, yo, dude, I'm going to pay you Friday. Yo, dude, let's meet tomorrow at this time. Yo, dude, let's have a call next week. Like, I'm ready. And fucking 90% of them don't do anything they said they were going to do. And I realized that, dude, it's because of something that happened during, like, there's reasons why people push off things. It's because they saw their parents do it from a very young age, or they do it in their own lives, and that's why they're not successful. And also people lie to themselves to make them feel good. Dude, the amount of applications we get for people to run ads, and I would probably take a really bold guess that 30% of them lie about how much money they make. Dude, the staggering bullshit in our world is nuts. Oh, we make $100,000 a month, and you get on the phone, and they're like, yeah, so we had one good month 3 years ago, and it's been shit ever since. Okay, so you basically fucking lied. Like, you basically lied. So, awesome. So now we know we can't do business with you because you're not an adult. And it's like, dude, it's crazy. Number three thing was from realizing that just because men turn 18 or 21 or even they're 30, they're not adults. A lot of things I learned from human psychology was men thinking that they're men just because they're older and they have kids. You are not a man, okay? I know so many 28-year-olds, 30-year-olds who have 2 kids, a wife, and a home, and they barely make ends meet. You are not a fucking man because you're not making enough. You're not providing enough. You're not stepping up in the household. You are not a high-value man. Just because you were able to conceive and, do that thing and have kids does not make you a man. It makes you an idiot. So it's like, these things, learning from people and talking to people and interacting, dude, you just realize there's so much BS in the world. And, dude, it's just crazy. So that's where I learned a lot of that. As far as like a funnel's concerned, I look at path of least resistance. Okay. A lot of people in the niche talk about, oh, we got to have all these filters. We got to make sure our leads are more qualified. Let me tell you
that's called high intent, right?
High intent, but here's my problem with that. Right. I believe in more quantity. So when you went to my landing page on my Instagram, I believe you probably clicked that link. There's no filters. You go on the page, you click a button, and you go to the calendar. Why do I do that? Because if you need filters to get layups of sales, you suck at sales. I don't need that. My sales team is trained, pre-vetted by me. They're all good. They know how to fucking close like sharks. I don't need you to be massively qualified. If you don't have the money, we'll get you funding. If you have all these objections, we'll slash them down. And if we have the right product for you, we know how to close it. And if we know how to do good follow-up, we'll make sure that you're nurtured. We don't need to have this layup of an application come through where it's like, yeah, we make 30 grand a month. We spend $500 a day on ads. Dude, why would I want to spend 8 more times on the lead when I can just get more quantity, more reach, and more engagement and then be able to sell you down the road? The problem is, dude, is that people with all these filters, they're like, oh, well, we just need sales today. I'm like, nah, bro. I believe in one number in my business, which is lifetime value. If you don't understand that, you don't know how to run a fucking business. You don't understand it. And
break that down.
Like when I'm running ads, like just in general, like we'll spend probably like 7,000 a day on book calls. I'll get about 55 book calls a day. Okay. Those 55 people, probably about 11 will close, nine-ish, right? The other people, they can get retargeted to low ticket products. They can go and come to an event of mine. Not all of them buy today. I want more fucking leads. I want more quantity. Because the more conversations you have, the more money you make.
That's why you're saying lifetime value. So you're looking at the customer's lifetime value versus anything else. You're saying this customer has a lifetime value, and the more customers I can get, no matter what they buy, I want them. You're looking at it more like Facebook looks at stuff, more like Google looks at stuff, is I want the data, I want the person and everything that they're going to touch for as long as they're buying shit from me.
Yeah. And like, the way I break down a landing page, man, is like, from top to bottom, it's literally just this. Top of the page is who are you targeting. Second part of the page is your headline. Like, what is your offer? Third thing is your sub-headline, which is like, here's the thing that the avatar does not want to do anymore, or here's the thing that is going to socially proof us and back us. So like, for example, right, if I said, start selling a low-ticket product, that becomes a 6-7 figure selling machine in your business within 30 days. And then my subheadline says, or without needing a website, a massive following, or posting content on Instagram every single day. The things the avatar doesn't want to do. Then below that is your authority pick or a video. You can test this, but you could use an authority picture, maybe of you speaking or you in front of your big ass mansion with a Rolls Royce. I don't know what you got. Then you have a video where it's a video of you talking about what you've done and about the offer that you have for them on the page. Then below that is what we call storytelling or a story or infatuations. Like, what is your story behind how you developed the product, why you developed it, what kind of powers does it have, and maybe you discovered it, but now it's time to refine it. So like, there's more that goes into this, but that's where like the genius of having good copy and good messaging comes into that actual lander. And then you have social proof. Hey, here's my story, and after discovering how well this thing did, I did it for other people, and here's some testimonials. Boom, 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 boom. And then after that is more testimonials. And then after that is frequently asked questions, and then after that is then the actual button where you would have them go to the next page. So
I love that. That makes a lot of sense. So when you're talking about like self-liquidating offers, and you mentioned in the beginning that you're dealing with a lot of real estate guys now, being that you've dealt with Pineda, you've dealt with Crone, and you've talked to a couple of the other guys, what would you say most of these guys are doing wrong? And when they meet with you, you're able to concisely say, this is what I would do instead.
Because a lot of them are not like copywriters, or they aren't like, yes, they're marketers, but here's the thing that I've seen in the niche, dude, is that for people who are older, like Ryan and all these guys, they're able to sell well because they're older. They're more trustworthy. Like, they don't know how to write copy, though. They've sold from stage. They've sold from, the right network. They've sold from driving results. They're good at those things as being business owners. But they're not good at making things simple because their lives have been complex, building teams and systems and processes to where they can't just condense an offer down. Like for Ryan, dude, Ryan was like, yeah, we should sell like a wholesaling kit. And I'm like, no, dude, that's too fucking complicated. He's like, what? I'm like, dude, one wholesale deal away. Here's how to land your first wholesale deal. He's like, are people really going to buy that? I'm like, yeah, bro, simple sells. And we run it, and the shit's crushing. He's like, bro, I just didn't even think that shit was even going to work.
Yeah,
Like,
we make it overcomplicated for sure.
yeah. And it's like, dude, you run spend something, you let the market tell you what works and what doesn't too. Like, why sit there and contemplate, be like, hey, like, I think this offer is going to work. I think this webinar is going to sell, or I think this landing page is going to do well. Run ads to it and let the market tell you if they like it or not. And then you can make better decisions and you can scale faster.
Jason, a couple questions on that. So one, we've got a mastermind coming up. I'd love to talk to you about that because that's always been a challenge for me. Just to sell those tickets, it seems like it's a cheap ticket. You would think, man, people are just going to buy it. But as you know, it's not always that easy. So that's one thing. The other thing is I'm in the process of hiring a copywriter, and I found that there's so much dog shit out there. It's like, I think I'm better off writing it myself a lot of times, but obviously that's not the best use of time. So how does somebody find a good copywriter? Because it is so important.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing with copywriters is that the best copywriters you're going to find, man, I hate to be this person, but like they're going to charge you an arm and a leg. They just are, dude. And like, let's say, right, you're trying to find someone who's monthly, like a retainer.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, dude, they're going to charge you 10 to 20 grand a month easily if they're good. And they've written direct response VSLs. They've written good like advertorials. They've written long sales letters. They are good copywriters. The problem that I have with copywriters is that here's the thing. You don't need to have good copy if you have a good offer. You don't need to have all that. Like if your offer is good enough, your copy doesn't need to be that great. It's got to have decent messaging, but like it doesn't need to be the spectacular thing.
So Jason, what makes an irresistible offer?
It makes it so easy for someone to say yes and make them stupid to say no. That's what makes it a good offer. Like for example, dude, at our events, we run an offer where it's like, hey, listen, we'll run your ads for 6 months. If you don't get an ROI, we're just going to give you a full refund and $5,000 on top. That's a good fucking offer. Something you can't say no to. So basically, if you say no, you're saying no to, if it all went south, $5,000 for 6 months, which is $800 a month. I pay half your rent for 6 months if all goes south and you get the fucking money back. If you say yes and it goes well, you grow your business, you make money, and you find the right marketing partner forever moving forward. Like, it's a fucking no-brainer offer. But people still don't take it. Like, not everybody's going to sign up because it's limiting beliefs. So, like, the whole thing with offers, man, is that you just got to make it so easy for them to say yes. Like, if you make it where you're writing your offer and you're like, are people going to like that? That's how you know the offer sucks. Like, if you ever are writing an offer out and you're like, damn, are people going to ask me questions about that part of it? Or like, are people going to achieve a result, or how quick can they achieve it? Like, likelihood is it just sucks.
So a guarantee is a good offer.
A guarantee, but you have to obviously be able to fulfill it. Don't just give a guarantee if you can't fulfill, because then you're going to cause back-end issues as far as fulfillment and refunds and chargebacks. So like, I would recommend that, like, for example, dude, like with like Crone, his event, we have $97 ticket, we have a $497, and then we have like executive, like 5-6K. And dude, all we say to them is, hey, listen, if you come to the event and you don't start calling leads for your first wholesale deal, we're just going to give you your ticket price back. We just refund you. And it's fucking crushing. Because it's like, you go there for $97, and let's say you aren't getting a lead. Like, for a whole day, bro, they're doing their lead lists. They're doing actions, and then they're fucking calling. And like, dude, you're activated. Now you're more activated to buy high ticket. Like, it's just so easy. Like, it's just, the problem is with people is that they're scared to give a guarantee because they're like, oh, like, what if people come and they're just people? Like, dude, you have to understand that people are going to be people regardless of your guarantee or your offer, but like, you have to have criteria to even opt in for the guarantee. Like, you can't just give the guarantee for being a lazy shit. Like, you got to actually do X, Y, and Z.
Yeah, you got to make criteria. You can't give a money back guarantee unless you don't lay out the foundation of like, hey, you got to do X, you got to do Y, you got to do Z. If you don't do that, the guarantee is null and void because it's based on it's got some controllable factors.
Yeah.
So okay, so going back into kind of who you are and what you're doing now. So right now, your business looks like what?
So we have a couple of different facets. So like, we have a low ticket offer. We have events that all funnel them to Wojo Media, which is the agency. So like, they can buy a low ticket offer and then we can say, we'll just do it for you. Or They can come to an event in person, which I have one literally this weekend in West Palm Beach. So I have an event. They can come and then they can just see me for 2 days. I give them value and then we sell them. And then they go right to Wojo Media. So my main focus in my business is being like the visionary, is being the person who builds brand and gets really, really big clients. Like that's my angle. Cause if I'm in those networks, dude, the amount of referrals I get is just, it's fucking ridiculous. So that is my focus, is how do I get the
Because you're proven, and
Yeah.
guys are not going to refer other. Everybody in the real estate business is always proud of the thing that they have, and we like to share. We're like, hey, my accountant's the best. Hey, my ad guy's the best, or whatever. So that's how you're getting passed around right now.
Yeah. So it's like, hey, like Ryan sends you to a bunch of people, and then also like they let me use their stuff for case studies, so that helps too. And then also, dude, these companies have other businesses that they know where they're like, hey, my friend's looking for someone to white label their clients to do ads, and then I'm getting sent there, and then it's like, also, man, just being a part of the.
Whoa, you lost me there. What is the white labeling of ads?
Okay.
I don't.
So, like, for example, Chris has a content agency. He's like, dude, we have 22 clients who we record their videos for because they want to build their personal brand. And I didn't even know this. I'm like, damn, you run a content agency? What the hell? Okay, so I'm like, oh, sick, dude. Like, cool. Like, what does that have to do with me? He's like, oh, dude, here's the thing. Like, we want to send all the clients to you to run ads. And I was like, oh, shit. All right, well, now you can funnel. So they use me as a white label and they can pitch it to their clients. So they go to their client and they'll say, hey, we want ads. Yeah.
So you're the go high level of the ad space for guys who are.
Yeah, basically.
Okay. Nice. Okay. I interviewed another guy that reminds me a lot of you, just a go-getter. I think he's the same age of you, and he's the #1 affiliate for Go High Level. His name's Dominic Baptist.
Yeah, I know who it is, yeah.
Yeah, and he's also, I think, out of the East Coast, but it's rare, Jason, these days. No offense to your generation, but like nobody wants to fucking hustle anymore. Everybody wants to be a YouTuber or be something else, and like when you put these ads out. So how are you able to find, number one, where did your motivation come from? Where did your confidence come from? Because you're obviously overtly confident with your ability to run ads, I would say.
Yeah. So like a big piece of confidence, dude, is like being so obsessed that it comes out naturally. Like when you're obsessed about something, like you just become confident out of thin air. Also, dude, my confidence just came from the fact that I had no other option. Like, dude, when I was first coming up, like not in the game, but like coming up as an adult, I realized that no one listened to me. And this is a really good point to make, and this will hit home for a lot of people, is that no one gave a fuck about what I said. Nobody cared. And I was like, why don't people care about what I say? Like, I feel like I'm smart. You want to know why no one listened to me? Because I was broke. So I was like, okay, how do I get people to just shut up and listen to me? I got to go make money. And that's all. That was my motivation. I just want people to listen to what I have to say because I know I'm smart. I know the things that I say work. But people have this ego about listening to other people who might be younger than them, or they don't feel like they have much experience. And some people don't like listening to me. They're like, oh, like he's younger. He doesn't get the shit yet. Like, bro, most of these guys in the online space, dude, like we're crushing the game right now. Just drop your ego and listen for 5 seconds. Like, it's not that serious. I'm not telling you that you're dumb or stupid. I'm just giving you advice. If you want to have your ads convert better, then listen. If you want to make less money, then don't listen. But when all
I hear is passion. I don't hear anybody other than somebody who's passionate about what they do.
I love ads. Like, I love all this shit. I love the network that I have. I love all the people that I work with, that I'm private clients with. Dude, these guys are awesome. Like, they're not needy. They're not pushy. They're not annoying. They don't text you at 8 o'clock at night asking for shit. They know you're at dinner. They know you have a family. They know you have a life. Like, that's what I enjoy. But then when we started getting clients in the agency, when I first started, starting it, and, they're paying $2,000 a month. Dude, they're the most annoying people on the planet. Like, you're just a bunch of children, dude. It's like a daycare facility half the fucking day. It's like, you need to, like, that balance is so important. And that's what I found by working with people who actually understand what paying to play means. And I needed that in my life. And, like, the motivation, too, came from, dude, if I'm good at this, I got in early 6 years ago. Like, there's a lot of people who started agencies at the same time I did, and they're all not around anymore. Why? Because they suck. So it's like sick. And
well, two things. And they either that or they quit.
Yeah. And it's like, dude,
They might be good, but they quit.
yeah, I was able to stay along long enough. I was like, dude, I'm here. I'm still rocking and rolling. I still got great people. I have great leadership. Like, this is a good thing. So I'm going to keep scaling it and growing. And then I started getting the attention of really big people in the space. And then I was like, yo, I got to eat shit and get them results. I'm going to go hard as hell. And I'm going to just provide value. And that's all I did. Like, I haven't worked as hard as I'm working right now, which is crazy, but I'm actually having more fun than I did before. Like, it's so.
It's not, you know what I see with you? Like, I see myself, but I like real estate. I'm obsessed with real estate. You know what I mean? And so I see a guy who's obsessed and then loves what he does. And you want to share it with everybody because you know you're fucking good at it. Like, that's why I got into coaching, right? Because I was like, there's other guys. And at that point in time, and I'll say it now, like, I know more than Pineda about real estate, like, period. Like, I know more than most of the guys about real estate. And that's why I got on, because I saw other guys doing it. You're the same type of thing. It's not to say that other guys don't know how to do it a better way or a different way or something like that, but I felt like I know more. You feel like you know more, and so you want to tell everybody that.
Yeah,
I get
dude.
it.
Yeah, of course. And it's like, dude, it's confidence, dude. People think like it's cocky to be confident. And I'm like, bro, you're just mad that everybody else is doing shit that you don't want to do. Like the whole like, oh, you're just cocky thing is so funny to me, dude. It's like, okay.
Let's go into, because I know we'll get caught off track. I want to go into some things that you brought up. Number one, my goal when I first set this call, I was like, this guy's making a lot of fucking money. And I don't know what kind of that money is, but I do want to tell you this, and I feel like this is my obligation. You've met with a lot of real estate guys. You provided a lot of real estate guys value. I don't know if they've provided you value, and I'm here to provide you value. And one of the things I want to tell you is, no matter what you leave today's show thinking, I want you to make a goal yourself, because when you make a massive amount of money, you pay massive amounts of taxes. Doesn't matter. The only way you're not paying massive amounts of taxes is if you're lying or you're cheating, right? Like, or you're completely an idiot with your money. Okay. And so that's it. Like, or you're good at investing in real estate. And so I don't know if any of those guys have talked to you about that, but I would like to tell you, like, your plan should include real estate no matter what it is, because if you do that, then you will never, ever, ever have to, when you want to pump the brakes or you have kids or whatever happens, you can.
Yeah. I mean, dude, I'm doing Airbnb stuff right now. So it's exciting, but it's not.
Yeah, forget that. That's a job.
Yeah. So like, I'm starting to realize that. Like, I'm getting into that game of like the whole sublease, and I'm like, fuck, dude, it's like a lot.
You know what you need to do? You need to get an SBA loan. Okay. You need to get an SBA loan. That's a 10% down loan. You have a business. You can qualify for anything that you want, probably based on the money and then what you can do is you can get professional real estate status, and you can take, so the way real estate works is like this. It's crazy. Your stuff is very simple because it's like, you can break it down. Real estate's very complicated. So like, if I take $1 million property and I put 10% down, I can take a 30% loss on that building on paper, if that makes sense. So it didn't lose money, but I could take a 30% loss. So meaning if I had like $500,000 in income and I had a $300,000 loss, now I only have $200,000 in income, and that property can still bring me cash flow. Now, I just heard from my tax accountant today that the IRS is going to, Congress is going to vote on a carryback loss. So when COVID happened, I had a carryback loss of $1 million. I was able to recapture all of the taxes that I had paid the previous years and get a check from the government back. That's going to be happening again pretty soon. And you can do that through real estate. You can't do that any other way.
Dude, that's fucking sick. My man,
so
my man got paid.
Well, I'm just trying to let you know, like, that's what because if you're making all this money, like, if you could just not pay taxes and buy real estate, the Airbnb,
yeah,
no offense.
I know. Yeah, it's not that great. Dude, here's the problem with me. And like, I'm diving into real estate, but dude, the way that I saved taxes was by buying cars. Because I do R&D, and it's so bad, bro. My vice, because I'm young, is fucking buying cars. It's so bad.
What do you got? Let's go through that. What do you have right now?
I've had 3 McLarens and a Bentley. So the Bentley I bought last year because it's a 6,000-pound vehicle, so I get the tax write-off. And like, bro, it's so bad. And I got a McLaren last year, and then I got a Range Rover, and then I have a Maserati Ghibli, and then I have a Slingshot. So,
So what's your favorite?
favorite is definitely the McLaren, dude. Hell yeah.
So that's the car. That's the car I've been thinking about buying. I'm either getting the 911. I'm either getting the 911 or the McLaren.
Okay. I'm going to make you very aware of this right now. Your McLaren's going to be in the shop like every 4 months.
Yeah, I'm getting the 911. I'm getting the 911 then.
Okay, dude, it costs you an arm and a leg to have that fucking McLaren. Like the brake pads and
$6,000.
bro, just the brake pads and the rotors, and then the cleaning is like $9,300 I gotta pay, and then an oil change is $4,000. Dude, one of my mirrors went, bro. One of my mirrors wouldn't fucking turn.
Yeah.
$13,000 for a fucking mirror, dude.
Yeah. Yeah, I think you need. Listen, here's the deal. I I saw that. The funny thing is, like, one of my buddies told me the other day. He's like, I've had all this success. I didn't get any recognition until I bought a Lamborghini. He's like, I've had people don't recognize it until you get that thing, right?
Yeah. I mean, dude, people will see me out like in St. Pete, and they're like, "Yo, McLaren boy," and I'm like, "Oh shit!" Like, dude, everybody saw the cars and the ads and all that, and like. Dude, I'm not gonna lie, like the brand blew up when I bought my first McLaren. That's when my income fucking doubled, bro. Like,
so you're telling me that's what I need to do just so people take me real?
I mean, dude, I'm not gonna lie, man. Like, dude, Porsches are great. They're very reliable, but like no one's gonna give a fuck on an ad about a Porsche. They're just not.
Yeah.
Like
we actually filmed in a Lamborghini one day. My buddy had rented one just like I had it.
Yeah.
And then all the video went to shit. I was like, "Oh, we had our one Lamborghini."
Dude,
yeah, I'm not a car guy.
Yeah, they associate that with like success and like, dude, but it's like it's with everything, man. It's just it's give and take because I'm not gonna lie, dude, the car attracts the wrong people.
Let's get into that. I wanted to get into that because I feel like you're a young guy I could offer some good sound wisdom for. It's funny when you mentioned that, like it's attracted the wrong girls. I had that same problem. Okay, for a lot of years.
It's so bad, bro. It's fucking terrible.
Like, well, it's fun. It's fun for a little bit.
Oh yeah, I'm not gonna lie, dude. It is fun, but then like once it's over, and it's like I'm just like, oh, that was so fucking stupid. Like it's just
there's a lot of blocked numbers, and there might be some keys on.
Dude, it's so bad. And like the crazy part is that I now have a 3-date rule. It's so
there's a lot of 3-date rules. What's yours?
Well, mine is this. Okay. And I'll deny them, by the way. I want to make this very clear, dude. I take care of the people that I work with, and I'll take care of a woman too. But, dude, regardless of what I do on a date, if you don't at least try to pay for something, I get fucking mad. I'll deny you. But if you don't try, that's a cutoff, dude, for me. I just can't do it. If I take you out to dinner and spend $200 and you can't get ice cream, no, I'm out.
Or if you don't try.
Yeah.
Don't at least,
if you don't, dude, every time the bill comes, all of a sudden it just in the restaurant, it's like a fucking tsunami came through and a breeze just fixed their hair and they just like completely forget about the fact that they're in a restaurant.
You know the trick, right? To get them to pay?
You just get up and leave?
You go to the restroom. You just take the longest restroom.
Dude, I don't know if I could do that because then I got to come back and face them. Dude.
Just take the longest restroom break you've ever taken and make it really awkward for them. You're good at bold sales, right? Like just go in there, just like 10 minutes. I'm sorry, that crab ragoon
Dude, that's great. Dude, the other thing is like, I don't know, dude, like all my friends say to me, yo, dude, like you got to stop picking girls up in your cars. And I'm like, dude, okay, so here's the thing, right?
I disagree, by the way.
I'm like, dude, I have to fake who the fuck I am to get someone to like me for who I am. And then they're like, oh, well, dude, you're going to keep attracting the wrong women. I'm like, dude, there should be a girl out there who understands, like, that's not all life is about. And that is the dating filter for me. Like, dude, I've had 2 girlfriends in the past, and they were great. Just didn't work out because I was too busy with work, and they didn't like that. That was the reason why my relationships kind of collapsed, was because of the fact that I was busy being this man of path and purpose, and they just didn't deal with the fact that I was busy traveling. They didn't like it. They wanted the attention. They wanted to be able to come with me so early in the relationship. And I'm like, you have a fucking job. You can't just fucking quit. Like, dude, I was in a relationship where the girl wanted to quit her job to travel with me. And I was like, we've been dating for 3 months. I'm not your fucking whole life insurance plan. We have to relax for a little bit, okay?
Yeah.
Like,
so you're having the conversations with them.
Yeah. And it's just like,
Now, are you looking for that next step for yourself,
Dude,
like to
I'm
build a
looking for
family?
someone to wow me away, and it's just tough, dude. Like, I don't have, like, yeah, I have standards, but, like, I'm not gonna sit there and be, like, this massively picky dude. Like, I'm not
Yeah.
gonna sit there and be like, oh, like, she doesn't do this and this and this well. Like, she's not the best cook, so f that. Like, no, dude. Like, honestly, if I was living with a woman alone, I wouldn't make her cook because I make enough money. I would have a chef. Like, it's stupid for me to sit there and be like, yeah, like, oh, I'm just gonna like fucking make her cook. Like, I want a girl who cook and clean and take care of me. Like, honestly, dude, I don't
Well,
need that.
well, I'll give a shout out to my wife. I would say that I got very lucky there, and interestingly enough. So I went to a Tony Robbins conference in like 2007, and I would think I was 20. I think I was 28 then, and I went there, and we had to write down our biggest fear. Okay, like that was the biggest fear, and I took a business partner of mine there, and he wrote down that my wife was going to leave me, and I wrote down that I will never be in a committed relationship was my biggest fear because I had come from the situation where I'm being burned from so many relationships that I was like just a womanizer at that point in my life. That's who I was. And so, whatever happened, but me writing down that fear, I got into a relationship right away. That was not the right person. I had the person who wanted to get on the plane like you and roll. And then right after that, I thought I was going back to the field, and I ended up landing my wife now, and we dated. I made her, I was like you. I was like, yeah. And I saw that when this is what did it for me, and I think that you'll recognize this and appreciate this. We're buying. I bought a fourplex. She does a trash out with me. Like we cleaned the whole place out, like diaper shit, fucking weaves, eyebrows, like every disgusting, repulsive thing that like anybody's good. After that, I called all my buddies. I said, "That's the one."
Yeah.
The lady who never complained and put me first and stuff like that. That's my advice for you: is
Yeah, dude.
put
Of
them
course.
put them through some trials and see where they stack up. Because everybody's down for a good ride in a fancy car and a free meal, but like, are you down when Jason's in a downhill, right? When things are tough,
Yeah.
are you my ride or die,
Dude,
right? That's
like, there was one relationship that I ended because of one simple thing, dude, and it might be like really like lashy, but I took her on a fucking road trip up the East Coast. Okay. And we're in the car, keep in mind, dude, and this stuff irks the shit out of me. We're in
right.
the car. I've been driving for fucking 12 hours. Okay. I did this because she wanted to go up and see her family in Chicago. Keep in mind, I'm in fucking Florida, dude. The drive was long. We're in the
Yeah.
car and we're trying to find a hotel to stay for the night. And she's like, okay, yeah, I'll call some places. And she's calling, and she finds one, and she's like, oh, where's your wallet? I'm like, what the fuck you mean? Like, you can't just pay for it? Like you can't just do that? And she picks the most expensive fucking one. And I was like, nah, this ain't gonna work. And like,
I think it wasn't that thing. You just realized that's who she was all along, and that
yeah,
was
and I
kind
was
of
like, dude, there was a fucking Hilton, and now we're at the one hotel. Like, the difference in price point is just so stupidly different. And I was just like, you make 6-7 grand a month, you can't get $150 hotel? Like, one fucking
you,
loft?
you should go international.
Dude, I've had so many people tell me that an international woman would be the best. I've had so many people say that, bro.
I'm just saying, like, honestly, God forbid I ever was to get divorced, which I pray to God that never happens. But I feel like I found one of the last great women in the United States because it's really, really difficult. Just basically, people are entitled; they feel like they deserve
Oh, it's
stuff,
so bad.
and I would go international. I would go Latin America, or Asia. So Jason, going back to the business stuff. Okay, so for those people who are listening still with us right now, and they're trying to get something going, and let's say they don't have a coaching platform,
Mhm.
they don't have anything to sell, but they want to do what you're doing, which is build stuff and sell it.
Oh, geez. I mean, dude, honestly, like, I wouldn't even tell them to do that. I would tell them to learn sales. Like, if you're not doing shit in the online space and you're trying to make money online, stop trying to do all the random shit that everybody wants you to do and just do the one thing that always pays the bills, which is skills. Like, learn sales. If you could sell, bro, you can make 10K a month. And people don't realize that. All my sales guys make 10 grand a month. And some of them are not even fucking purebred salespeople. They're just decent at sales. if you want to make 10 grand a month and you want to live a more comfortable life and you want to live remote and have freedom, just do fucking sales. Like save
1,000%.
the what?
1,000%.
Yeah.
I said 1,000%.
Hell yeah. And it's like, it doesn't matter what niche either. Like selling high ticket niches. Don't sell small ticket shit. You know, sell for a coach or consultant like us. Sell for freaking solar, roofing. Like do shit that when you get one close is a good commission. That will pay for your rent. Like that's what you want to be selling. So it's like you just got to be good with people. You got to be personal. You got to ask the right questions. Be patient with people because most people are slow. So like you just got to like be a good person and you will do very well with sales. I mean, if it's like if I'm talking about marketing online,
yeah.
If you're going to do anything, be like a social media like manager that does like content and does like editing reels and makes people go viral and does video scripts and all that. Like do a niche like that. Or even email copywriter. Email copywriters make very good money. Like email, people little do they realize that being an email copywriter is the easiest shit that you could do other than sales.
What's a good price to pay an email copywriter per email?
Per email? Probably like $75. Around.
I had some lady try to charge me $200 the other day. That's what I was asking.
$200 an email?
Yeah, I was like, that's a lot.
No, that's stupid. No, that's ridiculous. Dude, like, we don't even charge that much. And it's just like, dude, email.
You guys do copy? Do you guys do copy in-house too?
Yeah, we do everything in-house. Yeah. We don't use ChatGPT. We have a rule. Like, we don't fucking use that shit. Okay. The only thing that we use is Ad Creative AI, which we take a winning creative and we just make other variations of a winner. But everything's made originally.
Yeah, and those for those of you guys who don't know that what Jason just said, because I don't think a lot of people know that right now, but everybody right now is a ChatGPT copywriter or is a ChatGPT something, is a chat, like they're just using, oh, this works great. It just spit out all this great stuff.
Dude, it's funny because when I run the events, I always do a show of hands. Like, who here uses ChatGPT? I'm like, okay, stop using that shit. And it's always 80% of the room. And I'll make them keep their hands up. I'm like, who here makes less than 10 grand a month? And the same hands stay up. I'm like, that is why you're making less than 10 grand a month, because you're an idiot. And they're like, oh shit. Like, dude, I'm very direct in person too. Like, some people hate me at the events, dude. I've had people lash out at me at events. And we like cut the camera because they get mad because I say something like really intrusive. And I do it for their own good. Like, you're doing shit that's instantly gratifying. If I'm not going to tell you you're an idiot, no one else is. So it's like, I might as well be the one to do it. Like, it's a lazy way out. I hate it, dude. It's making us lazier. It's making our attention span so short now that there's more shiny objects in the world than ever before. Like, you got fucking ChatGPT, you got affiliate marketing, Amazon, Walmart, eBay, fucking who knows what's next. Everybody's got some shit to sell with automation and all this stuff. It's like, bro, run a real fucking business with real people and a real product and a real service and a real goddamn ecosystem. Like, stop doing this cheapo shit. Like, that's why you're not making money, because you're avoiding the work.
Yeah, I agree. And I agree. I echo. My background is sales. I always say that is the number one way if you're looking to not become an entrepreneur and you're looking to start, because everything starts with sales. Sales wins. Whether you have broken funnels, you got broken systems. If you have a good sales team, you win. It doesn't matter about the funnels. If you have a big sales team, you win. If you know how to close, you win. Like, and so I would echo that. I say that 100%. Rather get into anything else, I get that skill set, because if you have that skill set, that'll pave your way for everything. And I can tell Jason's a good closer because he knows how to call bullshit.
Yeah.
And good closers are going to put people. I just had, before you came on, I had Kayla Hodges, who's a young salesperson and really, really dynamic as well. Jason, how do people work with you? If somebody wants to hire your agency right now, how do they work with you?
Yeah, if you just go on Instagram at the Jason Wojo, there's a link in my bio. You just click it and you'll be brought to a page where there'll be case studies and information about our services. And then you just click one of those green buttons on the landing page that says book your call now. You click it and it'll take you to a calendar, and you can pick your date and time and you'll be able to speak with us.
Sweet. So I would love for you to look at my stuff and tell me what you think. It's funny that we're having this podcast at this time. So I hired an agent. So CJ brought me out there. I ended up going with a guy I met out there. It worked out for a while, although I think you'll see some of the issues that we had. And then we hired another agency. It was like, okay, that lasted like a month or two. And then I said, I'm just going to take this shit in-house. That's where I'm at right now. Okay. And And I would love to be convinced otherwise because I don't want to deal with ads. But it's one of
Well,
those things that like,
what was the issue? Like, were you, if you don't mind me asking, like, how much were these agencies?
well, the one guy, the way that I had it with him was I paid him an upfront to set up everything, right? So it was like a $20,000 where we paid this guy upfront to go set
Dude,
up all
that's the
the,
problem, dude. Like, they want they want the money up front because it's just like this, dude. The way that
for what it is, that guy got me for what it was. It was a good investment
okay,
in that situation.
that's good.
He got me to the funnel spot, got me to the next stage, right? It wasn't like I'm not rolling with him I rolled with him probably too long. And then I found the next person and I was like, okay, they don't offer what they did. And I got connected to some of the guys who are helping me build the funnels and stuff like that. Now, for the ads, it's like it's easy enough to place. I did have one question I wrote down and I didn't ask you, and I'm gonna kind of finish it off with that. But so obviously I would love to work with you or at least look into that. The other thing that I was pissed off is these guys got me banned off of Facebook. Not my
Wow.
account, but my ads account, right?
I know how to get that unbanned, and I mean, it's like I could do it at cost, but I know how to get people unbanned. So yeah, but
Yeah,
like,
I figured you did.
yeah,
It's about
I can only do like 2 to 3 people a month on that because I use a rep. Like, I can't get more into that, but like, yes, I know how to do it.
I know what you're saying. You don't need to say more.
Okay.
Yeah. You got to know somebody. You know somebody who knows somebody who knows somebody, right? Like, there's always a guy that can click a button. That's what I told my staff, they're like, oh, you're done. I'm like, listen, if I had Mark Zuckerberg, am I done? So I'm not done. Like, if Mark Zuckerberg can undo it, then I'm not done, right?
Yeah.
So that's cool. Yeah, I'd love to have you look at that. So any words of wisdom for the young person who's out there listening right now and just kind of struggling and trying to get ahead?
I mean, the biggest thing I tell you is that with the world we live in, just stop getting distracted. And I know that sounds so cliche to say, but like, stop looking at all the other shit that people are doing. It's all shiny shit. Like, focus on the things that you like and enjoy and go all in on that, and everything else will take care of itself. Like, people are not going to remember you for being the jack of all trades. They remember you for being the jack of one trade. So, like, all this shiny shit online that you see, this fucking course, this free webinar, stop. Okay, what are you good at? What do you enjoy? What do you want to get into? And just dive deep into that, because if you're really good at just that, take me for example. I just did really good at ads, and I was able to align with other people who wanted ads. I wasn't aligning with fucking someone over here for Amazon or someone like, it's too much going on, and it distracts yourself from building systems and actually scaling. So like, if they're trying to do one thing, just do one thing really, really well. And also, my biggest piece of advice too is you don't have to be an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
You don't have to be. You can be an entrepreneur. Well, entrepreneur is what we call it. Working for an entrepreneur who wants to take all the risk, who has the mental capacity to do it, and you can still do very well. Like, if you're, like, dude, if you're a salesperson, don't go start your own fucking agency that does sales. Just work for a good entrepreneur, make 15 grand a month, and then become the sales director and make 20, 25 and live a good life. You don't have to go have all the stress. Just because you saw a cool cars on Instagram and women half naked doesn't mean you had to be an entrepreneur. It's just not the way the world works. So
yeah, and the reality is even the people, and you know this from coaching, a lot of people are not ever going to do it. They're just never going to do it, no matter what course they pay for, no matter how much money they put. They're going to continue to tell the lie to themselves, and they're never going to do it. It's just one of those things. Jason, I really appreciate you coming on the show. You dropped a lot of game for the audience today. If you guys, are looking for somebody to run your business or looking for great content, I highly recommend that you check his stuff out. I can tell you, I always laughed at people when they would tell me, I've been in this business for 25 years. Jason's 26, but he knows more than most marketers that have probably been around the business because marketing's changed, right? Like when I used to sell it, it was advertised on the radio. Who's listening to fucking radio these days? Everything is, we know exactly what this person does and we can target market them. So final question. What do you think is the best ad for return on ad spend? Like platform, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. What is it?
Facebook and Instagram for sure. Yeah.
Really? You think it's better than TikTok?
It depends. TikTok's good for e-com. Like if you're talking e-com, TikTok's better. If you're talking lead gen high ticket, Facebook and IG and then YouTube. Yeah.
Cool. And then on the YouTube front, do you suggest going after your competitors and placing ads in all their videos, or just letting it roll?
I mean, I do a couple things. We do competitor placements, and then we do retargeting your name, and then we do retargeting your organic, and then also we do cold. And the cold is based off interest. Like, you could take competitors' views, but you got to look at the frequency and how they post. Because if they don't post enough, your ads get buried anyway, even if you take competitors.
Final thing, if you were going to dominate and money was not an issue and you had a business like me, what would you do systematically to dominate? Would you like skip trace all the Facebook groups? Would you cold email? Would you just what would be your approach?
Honestly, I would run events and not charge a high ticket price, and I would get more people in the room, and I would have my great sales team close in person, and that's what I would do.
Good to hear. That's what we're working on right now. Well, I'll tell you what, man, I appreciate you coming on the podcast. I appreciate your time today. I think I got your cell phone number. I'm gonna wrap with you a little bit later, probably next week. I'm going to Collective Genius this week. I'd love to get together with you and talk more about that. I've got a mastermind coming up. We always have a problem with those events in terms of just figuring out the flow. And I'd love your 2 cents on that.
Yeah, of course, bro. I appreciate it.
All right, man. Appreciate you coming on. And guys, make sure you give them a 5-star review, and we'll talk to you in the next one. Peace.
All right, peace.
Did you ever want to invest in real estate? Did you ever want to live the life of your dreams? Did you want financial freedom? We have a free Facebook group, the Millionaire Mentorship Facebook group for real estate investing. Make sure you join. The link is in the description. If you want to schedule a free call with me and my team and you actually want to start, I would suggest you do so. We have helped hundreds of people change their lives, and all they had to do was get started. They booked a call with me and my team, and they got the ball rolling. And I'm so confident that if you don't get your first or next investment property within the first 90 days, you don't pay, and I'll give you $1,000 cash. That's how confident I am. Obviously, you got to take action. You can't just do nothing and expect that to happen, but that's life. Life's all about taking action. Make sure you give this podcast a 5-star review, share it with a friend, and take action.